my mantra kind of it is this the hill you want to die on? And that kind of came about from, you know, in the past, I had been very, this has to be this way, this has to be perfect, it's got to be magazine worthy, and, everything has to, be a certain way. And, as my daughter got older and, she was diagnosed with autism, and we had a whole, schedule change and lifestyle change, and life just kind of changed. And I had to kind of take a step back and think about, is that really what matters right now? Is that really what you want to focus your time and your energy on? Is, having this be absolutely perfect and impressing other people? And it just kind of became, is this really what you want to do? Is this where you want your time to be? And most of the time it was no.
It's a good mantra. It really is. What's it been like to be a mom to this wonderful girl?
She's amazing. I wouldn't trade her for anything. She is really smart. She's funny. She's so talented. She has a beautiful singing voice. And, yeah, we've had our ups and downs, and things haven't always gone the way that, we had hoped as a family that they would. But I wouldn't give it up for anything. She surprises me every day. Every day is something new and wonderful and interesting and unique. And, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really wouldn't.
What advice she's now how old?
She's 13 now.
So 13 years. What advice would you have for other parents who find themselves with children with special needs?
My biggest piece of advice is to not see it as a defect. It isn't something that needs to be fixed necessarily. It's not wrong. I know many, many parents go through this initial period of grief and sadness, and they mourn what could have been. We're very lucky in that, my daughter's, it's called level 1 autism, which used to be called Asperger's. So her symptoms are not as severe as some others. And, there was a little bit of a learning curve. And, there is some sadness in seeing her struggle with things that, no parent wants to see their child struggle. So there is a little bit of sadness there, but, I just would advise people, don't see it in terms of what you lost or what your child can't do, because there are things that your child can do, and that you can help your child learn to overcome, even if that is a very, very long road. But we've seen, improvements in our daughter, and I know she has a whole lot of things that, we still have yet to unlock. But the mindset of, this is just a bump in the road, something that we can overcome, regardless of the severity of the disability or the type of disability. You don't want to get into that defeatist mindset of, we'll never get through this. We're never, I'm a big believer in positive self-talk for yourself. Whatever you tell yourself is what's going to happen. So if you tell yourself we're never going to do this, then you're never going to do it. Or my child won't be able to fill in the blank. Whereas if you take a more positive mindset, like, well, she can't right now, but let's see what kind of help we can give, or what kind of support we can give, and let's see how close we can get her there.
You've been such an inspiring mom over the years. We've known each other digitally. So I think that those are such great words of wisdom. What do you guys like to do together out in Chicagoland?
We love just exploring new places. We look for a lot of sensory input. So she is a big lover of the swings. We visit a lot of playgrounds and look for playgrounds that may not have, the standard things. There are a lot of really cool playground equipment that we found. And she also has a very big sweet tooth. So we've been to a lot of, ice cream places and donut places and that kind of thing. That seems to kind of be her treat. And in the process, we've explored a lot of different neighborhoods and, different suburbs. And, along the way to a certain ice cream shop, I might say, oh, that's kind of a cool place. We'll have to come back to that, on the way home or another day to explore. So we've kind of found a lot of things that maybe we wouldn't have, initially considered before, but it's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
I love that. Is there anything you'd like to tell other moms in Chicagoland about your thoughts being a mom? Or
I would just say take it one day at a time. My daughter's a little bit older, and the moms with the younger kids, I know you're exhausted at the end of the day, and your kids are still in that phase where they need mommy, they need mommy. Enjoy it. When you have a 13-year-old and they don't want mommy anymore, and it's not cool to hang out with mom, so those few days where she does kind of say, hey, it's not so bad, and it's not just for my debit card or where I can drive her, just enjoy it, take it one day at a time, because those days are going to change. And, sometimes you'll love the change, sometimes you won't, but just enjoy it while you can.